Hello fans, welcome to the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the megastar Austin Savage. This week what I want to talk about is more of the horror movie genre. I got a lot of questions from you guys and a lot of questions from my friends that I know, not on YouTube. And they wanted me to elaborate on some of the facts and figures of the horror movie genre. I've did a lot of research to do this video. I was going to do it actually about 2 weeks ago, but I decided to do more research. And just some points I'm going to make here. I find it funny that of the big three slasher movie franchises, only Halloween has a film from the original series in the top 10. All three of the reimaginings, for all you guys in the majority of the horror movie fan base, fan club, internet horror community, y'all bury these reimaginings. Yet, they all hold spots in the top 10 films of all time. Top 10 slasher movies of all time. In the following order. Number 7 is Friday the 13th, 2009. Number 8 is A Nightmare on Elm Street, 2010. And number 9 is Halloween, 2007. And I find it very ironic that one franchise holds the top 3 spots in the top 25 slasher films of all time. That, of course, being the Scream trilogy. Scream 4, for being such a bad, terrible, awful piece of horror movie history, still lands in the top 20 of all time. Figure that one out, guys. John Carpenter's Halloween is ranked 14th all time. Friday the 13th, 1980 is ranked 18th of all time. And A Nightmare on Elm Street is ranked in at number 35 of all time. Okay, moving on, like I said, the reimaginings of these films are all in the top 10 slasher films of all time. Can anybody guess, other than Freddy vs. Jason, which is not part of either series, okay, what is the number 1 film in the Friday the 13th series in terms of box office? Can anybody tell me? It is Friday the 13th, the reimagining, the remake of 2009. In Halloween, the Halloween series, Halloween 2007 is the highest grossing film of the series. In Nightmare on Elm Street, the reimagining in 2010 is number 1. Because I told you we're not going to count Freddy vs. Jason because it was not a part of the original series of either franchise. I did Child's Play on my list here just for some kind of continuity, and I threw in Scream there because Scream does have the most successful films. It has the top 3 spots in the 25 top grossing slasher films of all time. And you guys in the internet horror community trashed reimaginings, trashed remakes, that's all Hollywood knows how to do. Well, there's an old expression, and I'm sure your parents used it on you and your grandparents used it on you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, Halloween 2007 did $58,272,029 at the box office. The next film on the list is Halloween H2O, which did $55,041,738 at the domestic box office. You take Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy vs. Jason did $82,622,655. Like I said, we don't count that one because it wasn't a part of the original series. But the reimagining of Nightmare did, and I'm not going to read the whole numbers anymore, it did $63 million at the box office. Friday the 13th did $65 million at the box office. So, I mean, these are huge movies, and yes, they are remakes, reimaginings, whatever you want to call them. But obviously fans want to see this kind of stuff. So us in the internet horror community really need to stop judging them as reimaginings and just judge them as films themselves. You know, and I mean, if you look down the list of the top 25 grossing films, like I said, Scream has the top 3 spots. Freddy vs. Jason is number 4. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I believe is the remake, is at number 5. Number 6 is I Know What You Did Last Summer, which, fuck, I don't even know how that got that high. Friday the 13th is number 7, like I said, the reimagining. Number 8 is the reimagining of Elm Street. Number 9 is the reimagining of Halloween. And number 10, believe it or not, is Halloween H2O. Like I said previously, Halloween is the only film that has a remake and an original series member film in the top 10. So to me that speaks volumes about the popularity of Halloween. Continuing, you have My Bloody Valentine 3D, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, What a Stranger Calls, the remake. Halloween, the original Halloween, like I said, is number 14. That's huge, because back then, I mean, this film made $47 million. That's huge for that time, you know? Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Prom Night, the remake. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer peaked in at 17. I liked the first 2 in that series, but then they went direct to video, and it was Supernatural and all this other bullshit, and it killed it for me. Friday the 13th, 1980, the original, scored $39 million and comes in 18th all time. And everybody, you know, loves that movie. And I'm not saying I don't, but I'm just saying that ranked 18th all time. And like I said, Nightmare, the original, is not even in the top 25. It ranks it in at number 35 all time. So that's beat out by Friday, Halloween, and the entire Scream series beats the original Nightmare, which is huge. I mean, like I just said, Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, that's number 19. Number 20 is Scream 4. 21 is Urban Legend, which was okay, but again, they went into this whole sequel thing. The sequel's alright, and then after that, they did a bunch of little Urban Legend, like, and then they did a specific Urban Legend during the whole movie, which I didn't like. Friday the 13th Part 3 was 22. 23 was Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. 24 is Psycho 2, which, it's a great movie. And number 25 is Halloween 2009. Halloween 2, 2009. So, I mean, there you have, I mean, the most successful franchises in slasher movie history are in order. I believe it is Friday. And I actually have it written here. I don't know why I have to say I believe. Friday is number 1, and I'll get into this in a second. Number 2 is Nightmare. Number 3 is Scream, and number 4 is Halloween. Those are the top 4 franchises in slasher movie history. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, and again, I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this, and I don't really fucking care. To quote Mr. Anderson, nice guys finish last. Thank God I'm an asshole. Friday the 13th is the most successful franchise in slasher movie history because it has the most fucking films in its library. There are 12. If you count Freddy vs. Jason, there are 12 Friday the 13th movies. There are 10 Halloweens. There are 9, if you include Freddy vs. Jason, there are 9 Nightmares. And of course there are 4 Scream movies. And in my opinion, if they make Scream 5, 6, I think Scream can overtake Friday the 13th as the highest grossing horror film series, slasher film series. Mainly because, I mean, it's doing, you know, 30, 40, $50 million. Two films, if you figure they gross $100 million, they'll have $431,631,001 in the box office. That will overtake Friday in 6 films. That would double Friday would have had double the amount of films as Scream at that point if they make 5 and 6. But yeah, I mean, in old school fans, and I'm an old school fan, don't get me wrong, I love Friday the 13th, I love Nightmare on Elm Street, I love Halloween, I love Scream. I wasn't a big fan of Child's Play, which by the way only grossed, for the 5 films they had, $126,174,126 for the 5 films. Okay, I'm not trying to trash the originals, but us as the internet horror community, obviously we like to bitch about the remakes, but they're the most successful films of the franchise. A lot of that has to do with times and money and inflation and all that, but obviously we go and we pack the theaters to see these films. Alright guys, I mean, questions, comments can always be emailed to me, wrestlingwrapup@yahoo.com. Challenge my facts. I took these off of, I believe it was the Motion Picture Association website. And I mean, all my facts are here. I will email facts to people. I will email these lists to people. But feel free to ask questions. Challenge me. If you think I've got these facts wrong, challenge me. I'm begging somebody to prove me wrong because I deal in fact, people, and I don't mind being proved wrong, but prove me wrong. Show me some proof that I'm wrong. And I mean, a lot of these videos are done on opinion, but most of them come from actual black and white facts, people. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up. This is the Wrestling Wrap-Up Horror Edition. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. Email the show, like I said, wrestlingwrapup@yahoo.com. Video responses are welcomed. Comments below on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, @ProudToBeStraightEdge. I'll catch you guys probably Wednesday or Thursday. I'll probably wait until after Impact Wrestling to do another video because I got a hectic work schedule this week. Alright, I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching, guys.